Hey guys, Christopher McGee, Health and Fitness The Truth. Welcome back. In this video, we're gonna go over the barbell skull crusher, what to do and what not to do. Let's do it. All right guys, let's get right into cues for the movement of the barbell skull crusher. First, you want it on a ledge at a point where if you're lying down on the bench and you've got it on a ledge, you want to make sure you've got the movement to press it up off the ledge and clear of the ledge, right? Without having to protract your shoulders to get it up. So we've accomplished that. And then again, really it's more about when you put it back. I want to be able to just take it back, let it run into the rack, and then just drop it onto the ledge. Second thing is the bench placement. So we started with the bench in the wrong place, and I'll show you why. With the skull crusher, what you're doing is you're taking the weight straight above you and then dropping it back behind you. So if I get on the bench as I would for like a bench press, with the bench extending out and away from the rack, the problem is that as I take this back overhead, of course I run into the rack, right? And I don't want to have to take it off the ledge and then try to worm my way down. And I'm still bumping too close to the ledge anyway. So what you want to do is actually start with the bench under the rack the other way. This way I can clear it of the ledge, stay right here, and I can take it back, and of course the rack isn't in the way. Okay, ledge placement, bench placement, and then you will want your hand placement on the bar to be shoulder width or more narrow. And I always like to use the scored part of the bar as my gauge for to put my hands. And on this bar, not every bar is the same, but on this bar, I'm gonna want my hands somewhere touching the line between the scored part of the bar and the smooth part of the bar. Outside of my palms right there. Okay, now I don't like to start my skull crusher with the weight stacked right over my shoulders, okay? I like to start it a little further back. Okay, and that's because if I stack it right over my shoulders, if I take it right here, then my triceps don't have to do any work here in order to keep my arms straight at the elbows, okay? I can just lock my elbows and it's no big deal, but as soon as I start taking the weight back, my lats engage, which is nice, although I'm not really worried about my lats in this exercise. I'm trying to focus on the triceps, right? You can see my arms start to shake a little bit, and that's because if I don't use the triceps to keep the elbows straight, then this weight will just flop my elbows into a bent position. So I like to start this skull crusher with my hands like at hairline or slightly behind that, so that even when I'm coming to the top of this movement, there's still some tension in my triceps. Okay, and I'm just gonna bring it down. It should go over my head, okay? I wanna keep my elbows in. I don't want them to flare wide. I'm gonna keep them in and then just straighten my arms. And that is it. Bam. Skull crushers. Alright guys, let's just look real quick at the origin insertion points of the prime movers for the skull crusher, which would be triceps, and only triceps if you're stacking the weight, if you're aligning it right over your shoulders, but you'll involve your lats as well if you tilt it back from your starting point like I suggested. Okay, so the triceps have 3 heads, the shared insertion point being the olecranon process, this sharp back of your elbow right here, okay? And then there's a medial head, which is the deepest one, the one that you can't really see on the outside. It just comes right off the bone off here. So here's its insertion point right here, and it just comes straight down. Inserts on the olecranon process. You've got a long head, which comes off the infraglenoid tubercle, just this tiny spot on the bottom of the scapula right before you get to the humeral head, okay? It's right here. Of course, it comes down, hits that olecranon process, and then your lateral head right up here is its insertion point, and then straight down to the same spot. Now lats are huge, okay? They go from T7, so we got 12, 11, 10,
9, 8, 7. Here's T7, okay? Thoracic vertebrae number 7. It comes from here, attaches to each of these vertebrae all the way down to the sacrum, basically, okay? L5. Attaches onto the iliac crest on its posterior side. Comes up, touches down on some of the ribs here, touches down on the inferior tip of the scapula, comes forward and inserts on the front of the humerus, right here at the neck. That lat is activating if you've got your arm, right? If Ozai were laying down, so if Ozai's back were against a bench and he had his arm overhead, if he tilts his arm overhead this way and starts his skull crushers from this angle, then that lat is on stretch, which means it's on tension, which means it's getting some work as well. Now it's not necessarily a prime mover, the lat, but it is getting a lot of tension there. It's definitely doing some work. That's it. Thanks, Ozai. All right, guys, that is the barbell skull crusher. Thanks for watching. Hit the notifications so you know whenever I've got another video out and you can stay up to date with the education on how to do all these lifts and everything fitness related. Like this video and share with some friends that you think this could help. We'll see you in the next video.